Hi everyone, it's Cindy from That Girls Yoga. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For practice today, we're going to keep it in a more gentle awareness, especially for those of you if you're about to go to sleep at night or you're feeling really stressed out when you come home from work or you wake up in the morning and you just want a really gentle 30-minute practice. So if you have a bolster, that's going to be really, really helpful. If you don't have a bolster, you can always use a removable cushion from your sofa or maybe an extra pillow. If it's a firm pillow, that would definitely help you. Now, you could also use blankets in place of a bolster. I do have one blanket here that I am going to suggest that you have. So if you don't have a bolster, you could grab maybe 2 blankets or 3 blankets. Just as long as the blankets, aren't too soft. Preferably Mexican blankets are the best. And if you've ever wondered where you can purchase these, you can get these off of Amazon. It's great. And I know that Manduka right now has a 20% off sale. So that might be something you want to look into. I'll give you the date. Today is November 21st. So I don't know how long the sale is going, but I just wanted to put that out there to you. And you'll need a couple of blocks. So we're going to get started on the back. You're going to have your blocks close by. The bolster can just be off by the side. And you're going to place the blanket underneath your head as you lower down onto your back. I'm going to put on some soft music for us. And once you get down onto the back, make sure that your head, neck, and shoulders feel comfortable. And we want to make sure that the shoulders are not on the blanket. And once you've made those necessary adjustments for your body, hug your knees into your chest. Once the knees come into the chest, take a little rock side to side to massage the back. Transition into sacral circles. Keep the hands to the kneecaps. Circle the knees together in one direction. Let the eyes softly close as you begin to tune into your breath. Reverse the direction. And invite the eyelids to soften as the eyes settle into their sockets. And place the feet onto the mat. Step your feet out as wide as your mat is, and then open the arms out nice and wide so the backs of the hands come onto the floor. Bend into the elbows, and now the elbows press into the floor. They can be walked a little closer to the body if you wish. Now drop the knees over to the right as you release the right fingers down. Maybe the palm comes flat to the mat. Release the back of the left hand down, turn the head over to the left. Now these are called robot arms. When you inhale, bring the knees back to center, let the fingers lift up. Keep the elbows pressing into the mat as you switch the direction. Inhale to come back to center as we continue with these robot windshield wipers. This will help to release any excess tension or tightness you might be carrying in the head, neck, or shoulders. The primary area where we tend to carry all of our most of our tension. We're also releasing through the low back, the pelvis, and along the sides of the body. And then as you come back to center, transition into Supta Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet will go together. The knees will go out wide. You can take your blocks and you can tuck them underneath the thighs like I'm demoing. You might need to make adjustments so that your spine feels comfortable. And then once you get here, relax the ribs down toward the hips. Feel the pelvis broaden. Left hand over the heart and the right hand onto the belly. Invite the eyes once again to soften as you settle in. And just notice how the body receives the breath. A nice, gentle breath in and a smooth, gentle release out. Invite the muscles in the face to gently soften. As you feel your body receiving the breath. Nothing else to do, nowhere else to be, but to just give yourself time to receive the breath. This practice is about transitioning from the chaos of the outer world and moving inward. And just how important it is to take that time to move inward. Notice where the breath enters into the body. Can you feel its full expansion as it reaches to every cell in the body? And then when you exhale, can you feel the breath as it gently releases, the body softening? And what is no longer serving, releasing with each of those exhales. Inhale to receive the breath of life, our prana, and then exhale to just soften into the awareness. No need to shape the breath or make the breath anything that it's not. Feel where the muscles in the body are beginning to soften and relax. And how the collarbones can broaden. And how the shoulders can release from the ears. And you can feel your body opening to the earth. This is called down regulation. This is what we get when we come into this space. Our body remembers, because our body has this innate way of healing itself. What happens is we just get on that hamster wheel and we go, 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 go. And this is a really nice time to just move inward. Feel where we can let go and where we can find the deepest connection to ourselves. Now bring your hands to the outsides of the thighs as you close the knees together. Now let those knees drop towards each other And take the feet a little bit wider than the hips. This is called supported constructive rest. You can take the left hand onto the heart and the right hand onto the belly. As we focus once again on the breath. Can you sense the breath as it rises from the pelvis into the belly, moving up into the ribs and maybe up underneath the collarbones into the chest? And when you exhale, gently blow the air out of the lips. Inhale to breathe in. And exhale to gently blow the air out. Take several more rounds here, just exploring the length of the inhale. And can you sense that the exhale is considerably longer than the inhale? Maybe there is an intention that you would like to set for your practice today. Let the hands on the body be a reminder for us to hold ourselves in this space of loving kindness, this space of compassion, this space of awareness, and allow yourself to be the witness and to observe. Observe what might come up in your practice, and then as you acknowledge these thoughts that might come up or these feelings that might come up, you can let them be there. And then you can move on to the next breath as that exhale takes those thoughts and observations away with it. It's that polarity of contraction and release. The air comes in, there's contraction. The thoughts might come in, there's contraction. And then as we release the exhale, we soften. And then the thoughts can soften. Invite the right knee into the chest as you walk the left foot underneath the left knee. Transition into a wide, half-wide knee circle with just the right knee. As you gently guide the knee with the right fingertips, notice how this creates a beautiful stimulation to the belly and the digestive system. We're also working here with the shoulder girdle. Now reverse the direction. Cross right ankle over the left thigh for figure 4. Send the arms off to the side and then take a gentle little rock over to the right. You'll feel that right knee release down. The left knee will follow as the right ankle stays crossed. Inhale to come on back to center. Exhale to release to the left. Let the head just gently turn to the right. Inhale at center. Exhale again, over to the right, head turns to the left. We'll take 3 more rounds, releasing to each side. At the pace of your breath, let the breath be the guide of how you create the movement in the body. As you finish with that last round, your choice. Either you stay here in a figure 4, or you can place a block underneath your left foot to turn this into a supported figure 4 pigeon pose. Now for those of you that want to go a little deeper, transition into reclined pigeon. You'll clasp your hands behind the back of the left thigh, or you can place a strap. For those of you that want to go even deeper, interlace your fingers over the front of the left shin. Take a breath in through the nose. Let it fill the belly. And as you exhale, gently blow the air out of the lips. Feel your spine rest into the earth as you invite space into the right hip. These deep rotator and extensor muscles of the leg and the hip. If it feels nice, take a little rock side to side. Allow yourself to continue to get more and more relaxed here into this posture. Remember that pain is our indicator. We never want to have pain in yoga. We definitely want to feel what we're doing, but we never want it to be pain. Yoga is never something that we should just get through. It should be something that we thoroughly enjoy. And then if you have the knees in toward the chest, lower the foot down. And then lower the right foot down and cross the left ankle over the right thigh. Send the arms out to the sides. We'll transition into our windshield wiper figure 4. Knees drop to the left, head to the right. Come on back to center, second side. Easy, gentle, smooth transitions. We'll take 2 more rounds on each side to complete 5 full rounds of each side. As this gently opens the low back, the pelvis, the sides of the body. It helps to create a gentle release through the neck and shoulders. After that last round, you choose figure 4 or a block under the foot, or reclined pigeon. Hands are strapped behind the thigh, or to go deeper, clasp the hands over the front of the right shin. You'll find that there's a gentle flex to the left foot to protect the knee joint. And if it feels nice, take a little rock side to side. As you continue to focus here on the breath, that gentle guidance leading us into the space of down regulation. Notice where you can feel the body being massaged by the breath and by the movement. And then as you come to center, lower the right foot down, bring the left knee into the chest, extend the left leg up to the sky. Clasp your hands behind the back of the left thigh. We'll point the toes on the inhale and flex the foot on the exhale. You can always use a strap here if you need extra support. Inhale to point, exhale to flex, inhale to point, and exhale to flex. Now this is a somatic exercise that helps us to release and target specific muscle groups. When you inhale, you keep a little point to the toes, sip the breath in, press the thigh away from the body, but resist with the hands at the same time so you can feel that there's a polarity, there's opposition there, a contraction. As exhale, let the air go through the clenched teeth so it sounds like this. Pull the leg toward the chest. That's where we soften. Inhale, sip the breath in, contraction. As exhale, release. One more round, sip in. and pull it in and release. Beautiful. Second side, lower the left foot down, bring the right knee into the chest, extend the leg up to the sky as you clasp the hands behind the thigh. Remember, you might need a strap as well. Point the toes on the inhale and flex the foot on the exhale. If this feels like too much for you, keep your knee into your chest and you can still do the same thing. It's just not going to be quite as deep. That's the beauty of yoga. It's about finding what works for us. And then as you come to center, keep a little point to the toes, sip the breath in, press the thigh away. Feel that contraction. S, exhale, bend the elbows, pull the straight leg toward the chest as far as your body feels comfortable. Inhale, sip in. S, exhale, pull it inwards. Last round, sip in, contract. S, exhale, pull it in. Now extend both legs up to the sky, extend the arms up to the sky, roll out the wrist and roll out the ankles. This is going to help to give us more mobility so that when you do eventually stand up, your body is going to feel like, oh, I really saw that tension. Reverse the direction. Transition into a happy baby pose. Bend into the knees, grab onto either insides or outside edges of the feet. The soles of the feet release to the sky. Sacrum is down to the mat. That's your low back, the back of the pelvis. If it feels nice, invite a little rock, side to side. Easy, gentle, smooth transitions. Know where you need to be, but to spend this time with yourself, letting go of all the demands of the day. Inviting yourself to be completely present with the breath, the sensation of the movements and the postures that we're creating. And come on back to stillness. Send your left leg long. Keep the right knee into the chest. Lift the forehead for Ardha Uttanasana. Maybe it comes to the knee or maybe it's just a slight lift up. Take an inhale to a full body stretch. Exhale, bring the left knee into the chest. Lift the forehead up toward the left knee. Inhale to a full body stretch. Exhale, Uttanasana. Bring the knees into the chest. Lift the forehead up. Give yourself a nice big hug. Notice the base of the spine to the base of the skull. And then lower the head down, roll your body to your right hand side. Now, as you press yourself up, you're going to come into a Z pose. Now, Z pose is another one of those somatic exercises. We bend the right knee and we bring the right shin across the front of the mat. The left knee is bent and the left knee is in line with the right knee. We turn the torso so it's at the diagonal to the right. Come to your fingertips. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, round down. Bring the nose and the chin into the chest. And then lengthen out over the right leg. Inhale, grow tall, lift up. These are called dolphin dives. Dive down. Inhale to lift up. Let your eyes close if that feels comfortable to you. Take one more round at the pace of your breath. And then come on back up. We'll take that right hand and bring it so it's about 6 inches out from the right hip. Take your left arm, bring it across the front of the legs. Place the left fingertips and the palm just outside that right thigh. Now inhale, let your left hip lift up. Exhale, turn your head over the right shoulder. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, turn your head over the left shoulder. Soften the left shoulder down. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, look over that right shoulder. Inhale, bring it back in. Exhale, turn to look over the left. Come on back to center with the chest. Place the left hand to the left hip. If you need extra support for your right hand, you can always place a block underneath the right hand. Lift the left hip up. Try to bring it over to meet the right knee. And then release it back and down. This is a beautiful way to release through the groin. Inhale again, lift up. And exhale to release it down. We hold on to a lot of tension in our inner groins. Inhale, lift. And exhale to release. Now we'll switch over to the second side. Now as you get there, you might notice that you need to have some support. So one leg, like this leg, might be lifting a little higher. You can always tuck a blanket under that, or you can sit onto a blanket if you wish as well. Walk the hands so that they're on either side of the left leg. Inhale, lift up out of the chest. Exhale, dolphin dive down. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, dive it down. And take 3 more rounds, peace of your breath. Come on back to center. Keep your left hand just outside the left hip. Right arm comes across the body. We place that hand down. Maybe you're onto the palm or the fingertips. Inhale, let the right buttocks lift up. Exhale to turn the gaze to look over left shoulder. Soften through the shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale to look over the right shoulder. Easy, gentle, smooth transitions. Inhale, bring it back into center. Exhale and over to the left. Come on back to center. And then on over to the right. And then bring it back in. Unwind, place the right hand to the right hip. Remember, left hand can rest onto a blanket or to a block. We lift the right hip up to bring it over toward the left knee. Release it back and down without forcing. It took me years to be able to bring my buttocks down. And then there are times when it just doesn't come down, like today. It just doesn't want to come all the way down. And that's okay. It's whatever I might be holding on into my body, and I'm just gently reminding myself to release. Now come on back to center and come onto the hands and the knees. If you need support for your knees, you can always place a blanket underneath them. And then grab onto your 2 blocks. Place your blocks on high or medium or low. Most of us are gonna get more benefit if we place these blocks on high. For half split pose, we're gonna take that right leg and extend it out in front of you for a half split. We want to keep the hands onto the block so the chest is lifted off the thigh. And then let your gaze look just out in front of you. Good. Now let the gaze be so that there's no pressure in the front of the throat or the sides of the neck. Can you hug the right hip back? Keep the sternum nice and lifted. Take a breath in and sigh the air out. Notice where you can soften. One more round of breath. Breathe in and let it go. We bend the right knee. Lower the knee down. We step the left foot forward for half split pose. Ardha Hanumanasana. Hanumanasana was a monkey, and that reminds us to let go of the monkey mind. Sometimes our minds can get so filled up with all the things that we we have to do, we want to do, we need to do, that we forget to be present with our breath. And this pose reminds us to stay as present as we possibly can with the breath and with the posture. Take a breath in. Soften as you hug the left hip back. Good, you're doing great. One more breath in. And then as you exhale, bend the knee, lower the knee down, set your blocks off to the side. And then we'll come to have a seat onto our blanket. So we're just about ready to come into our restorative pose. Now when you sit onto your blanket, I like to fold mine in half because it gives me a little more leverage. You want to scoot the hips forward as you cross the legs at the middle of the shins. Place the hands onto the kneecaps as you wrap the fingers over. Inhale, gently lift the gaze and the chest for seated cow pose. Exhale to round through the spine for seated cat. Keep going for 4 more rounds of each at the pace of your breath. As you finish with that last round, come into Sufi circles. Lean to the left, fold forward. Lean to the right, round through the spine. And keep going as we create this gentle release to the hip flexors, the pelvis, the low back. This is wonderful to create space in the spine. Stimulate the digestive system and our breathing organs. Reverse the direction. You can let these circles be small, which I would suggest for this practice. You can increase the speed. Notice how the shoulders get involved, the ribs get involved, the neck and the head. And after that last round, come to center. If your low back is feeling sensitive, lift the arms up toward the sky. Hinge forward at the hips, forward fold. Press into the buttocks. Maybe the forehead comes down. You'll see that mine's not coming down all the way. Can I do it? Yes. Am I going to force myself? No. So allow yourself that grace to not force yourself, to just be as soft as you possibly can. Take a breath in, notice what's present, and sigh the air out. Use your hands to press yourself up. And then we're going to grab onto our bolster. You're going to want to keep your blanket in this half-folded variation. You're going to set your bolster onto your mat. Now I get a lot of questions about this bolster that I have. It's made with buckwheat and it's very soft. It's almost like a bean bag. And I got it from a company called Brentwood Home. So if you ever want to look that up, I'll add that to my comments on this video. Now you're going to take your blanket. You're going to set it at the upper part of your bolster. That's going to give you nice support for the head. And this is going to be support for the spine. You're going to have your blocks with you. Now what we want to do is we want to take the sacrum. This is your sacrum right here, this flat part, the lower part of the spine. So just below the lumbar. This is the lumbar right here. And then this is the sacrum. And we want to take that sacrum and bring it so that it's up against the bolster. Now, if your low back is feeling really sensitive, you won't want to bring the sacrum quite so close. You also might want to place a blanket in between the sacrum and the bolster. Soles of the feet can come together. Have a block, one on each side. I grab onto the bolster as I slowly lower my spine down. If my head doesn't reach the blanket, I'm going to scoot it closer to me. Now, my low back is really tight, so I'm going to need my blanket to be a little thicker. I'm just going to remove it, roll it a little thicker, and then lower my head down. Oh, so much better. Then I tuck the blocks underneath my thighs, settle in. Let the eyes close. Now, if you don't have a blanket, a bolster, you can take 2 blankets and fold them in half lengthwise so that they look like a bolster. Stack them on top of one another. And the 3rd blanket will go over the top to protect your head. If you don't have any extra blankets or a bolster, this can be done the same way we did it at the beginning of class, where we just had a blanket under our head or a small pillow with the blocks under the knees. Now let the eyes softly close and feel your body melt into the support beneath it. Relax through the tailbone, the pelvis, the low back, the hips. Invite your tongue to settle at the base of the mouth as you soften through the jaw, the eyelids, the space between the eyebrows, the hair on the scalp, the muscles that surround the skull. Just allow yourself to be very, very gentle as you rest here. This is a beautiful posture to help release tension in and around the heart, the upper, the mid, and the low back, the hips and the pelvis. As you feel your body transitioning from the busyness of your life, see yourself as the receiver, receiving this breath, receiving this practice. If you're comfortable to stay here for your Shavasana, I invite you to stay exactly where you are. If you want to come into a traditional Shavasana, we'll bring the knees together. Shift the hips to one side as you roll over to that other side. You can use your hands to gently press yourself up. Now, one thing that's nice if you have a bolster or additional blankets is you can place that bolster or those blankets underneath the backs of your legs, and that can be used for your Shavasana. It's just a really nice way to invite the body to relax and let go, to find support for the low back. Once you've found your Shavasana, let the eyes close. Let the tongue rest again in the base of the mouth. As you completely relax, rest, and soften into your Shavasana. Notice this quiet place of stillness in which you created. If you feel that you want to stay here a little longer, I invite you to give yourself the grace of staying here. Give yourself that gift of just being completely still for as long as you possibly can. For those of you that are joining along with me, bring one knee into the chest and then the other. And roll your body gently over to your favorite side. Use your hands to gently press yourself up. And as you press up, come on up into a comfortable seated pose. Cross the legs if that feels comfortable. Invite the hands into heart center as you gently bow the chin forward. As we hold onto the mudra toward our heart, feel the balance of left and right hemisphere come together as we've created this down regulation, homeostasis in the body. On this next inhale together, let's all breathe in peace, love, and compassion towards ourselves. And let's share this peace, love, and compassion. Let it spread throughout the room, throughout the world, and throughout the universe. Thank you for allowing me to guide you through your practice today. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste. Thank you all for joining in my YouTube channel. Thank you for being a part of our healing practice. And thank you for subscribing and for liking. Looks like I went a little bit over 30 minutes. So if you've got 40 minutes to spare, have a really wonderful day. Thank you all for joining. I look forward to seeing you real soon. Mwah.